When society collapses, survival isn't just about having the right gear or a well-stocked pantry. It's about navigating human interactions. The dynamics of human behavior change dramatically when people find themselves in desperate, fearful, or simply survival-driven states. Strangers you encounter during these trying times might initially appear harmless, helpful, or even friendly, but in an SHTF situation, they can easily become one of your greatest threats. Understanding who these individuals are, what drives them, and why they pose a potential risk is crucial for your safety and the preservation of your resources. Welcome to our two-part series on navigating human interactions during an SHTF scenario. In this first video, we'll get into the most common types of people you're likely to encounter in a long-term crisis. These could be desperate neighbors, looters, scammers, armed gangs, well-meaning individuals who unintentionally put you at risk, and others you might not have anticipated. By comprehending their motivations, the challenges they bring, and the unique threats they pose, you can better prepare yourself and your group to handle these interactions effectively. Awareness is your first line of defense. Understanding who you might encounter and their motivations is critical for survival. This knowledge enables you to anticipate potential threats and recognize dangerous behaviors before they escalate, giving you the upper hand in maintaining your safety and security. Be sure to tune in tomorrow because in part 2, we'll explore practical strategies for managing these encounters. How to test, vet, and cautiously engage with strangers to ensure your safety and the security of your resources. Let's get started with the various types of strangers you might encounter in an SHTF scenario and understand the risks they bring. Desperate neighbors are among the first people you'll encounter during an SHTF scenario. These individuals are typically those who didn't prepare adequately for the collapse. Perhaps they believed everything would return to normal quickly, or they assumed someone else would take care of them. Now faced with the harsh reality of a long-term crisis, they're turning to those around them for help. Often these are neighbors you already know, individuals you've shared friendly relationships with before the crisis hit, making the situation more complicated emotionally. In pre-crisis times, you might have shared a friendly chat over the fence or helped each other out with minor tasks. However, when disaster strikes, these same relationships can become strained as the desperation for survival kicks in. The familiarity can make their pleas for help more emotionally charged, complicating your ability to assess the situation objectively. The primary reason desperate neighbors are dangerous lies in their emotional manipulation. They might come to your door with heartfelt pleas, saying things like, "My kids are starving," or "We're out of water," hoping to elicit your sympathy and secure your assistance. While it's natural to want to help someone in need, even a single act of generosity can lead to ongoing dependency. If you help once, they'll be back again and again, each time with a new plea, until you find yourself constantly running out of supplies to support their endless requests. Moreover, these desperate individuals often share information about your generosity with others in the community. Word spreads quickly in tight-knit neighborhoods, and soon, your home becomes a known target for those looking to exploit your resources. The cycle of dependence not only drains your supplies, but also increases the likelihood of attracting more desperate individuals, making your home a beacon for potential threats. Additionally, desperate neighbors can inadvertently compromise your security by revealing details about your preparedness. For example, they might boast about how well stocked your pantry is or how much water you have stored, which can attract opportunistic looters or other desperate individuals seeking to take advantage of your resources. Understanding the motivations behind desperate neighbors is essential. Their actions are often driven by fear, scarcity, and the instinct to survive, which can lead them to take risks they wouldn't normally consider. Recognizing these underlying factors can help you approach these interactions with empathy while maintaining the necessary boundaries to protect your own survival. The emotional toll of dealing with desperate neighbors cannot be understated. It's challenging to balance compassion with practicality, especially when these individuals were once your friends or acquaintances. The stress of potentially having to continually support them can strain your mental and emotional resources, which are just as crucial for survival as physical supplies. Looters and opportunists are some of the most dangerous individuals you'll encounter in an SHTF scenario. Unlike desperate neighbors who might ask for help, looters don't ask. they take. Their motivations are often purely selfish, driven by greed or the belief that chaos provides an opportunity to seize what they want without consideration for fairness or the well-being of others. Looters can operate alone, but they're often part of organized groups that coordinate their actions to maximize their gains. These individuals thrive in environments where the rules of society have broken down, seeing the collapse as a chance to amass resources without the usual constraints of legality or morality. Whether driven by necessity or opportunism, their actions are focused on personal gain, often at the expense of others. Looters are dangerous for several reasons. First, they focus on easy, high-value targets. They scout neighborhoods for signs of vulnerability, such as homes with visible gardens, solar panels, or poor security measures. Once they identify a target, they act swiftly, often resorting to violence if they encounter resistance. Their willingness to use force makes them a significant threat to anyone they target. Moreover, looters may pose as harmless individuals passing through, or even as people in need, using deception to scout defenses and gather information about potential targets. This camouflage allows them to assess the situation before deciding whether to proceed with their plans. They might blend into the community, making it harder to recognize their true intentions until it's too late. Another critical aspect is that looters often work in groups, enhancing their effectiveness and reducing the risk of individual detection. A coordinated group can plan and execute more efficient and violent raids, making them even more formidable opponents. Their collective strength can overwhelm defenses that might be manageable against solitary attackers. Furthermore, looters can have a ripple effect, attracting other opportunistic individuals or groups who learn about successful raids and seek to replicate them. This creates a cycle of violence and theft that can spread rapidly through a community, exacerbating the chaos and making survival even more challenging for everyone. Understanding the tactics and motivations of looters is essential for preparing your defenses and minimizing the risk of being targeted. Recognizing their patterns of behavior and the signs that indicate a potential looter presence can help you take proactive measures to protect your resources and maintain your safety. The presence of looters can also disrupt the fabric of the community, creating an environment of fear and suspicion. Trust among neighbors can erode as the threat of looting becomes more prevalent, leading to increased isolation and the breakdown of social support systems that are crucial for collective survival. Scammers and con artists thrive on deception, especially in chaotic environments like an SHTF scenario. These individuals are not just after your supplies, they're after your trust. They exploit the breakdown of societal norms and the scarcity of resources to manipulate and deceive others for their gain. This category includes infiltrators who pretend to need help or offer services in exchange for access to your group or resources. Scammers can come in many forms, from those who offer seemingly valuable services that are actually worthless, to individuals who fabricate entire personas to gain your confidence and exploit your resources over time. Their ability to manipulate situations and people makes them particularly insidious threats in a survival scenario. The danger posed by scammers lies in their ability to undermine your trust and security from within. They might offer fake goods, such as spoiled food or counterfeit medicine, in exchange for your valuable resources. Others may pose as skilled workers, offering to fix your equipment or provide services they're not qualified to deliver. These false offers can lead to significant losses, as you may end up sacrificing essential resources for worthless or harmful items. The most insidious scammers are infiltrators, who pretend to need help to gain entry into your group. Once they're inside, their real goal is to exploit your resources, gather information, or sow discord. Over time, these infiltrators can undermine your group's cohesion and security, making it easier for other threats to penetrate your defenses. Moreover, scammers can spread misinformation and create distrust within your community. By introducing lies or conflicting information, they can destabilize group dynamics and make it harder to coordinate effectively. This internal strife can weaken your collective ability to survive and protect each other, increasing vulnerability to external threats. The long-term risks associated with scammers and con artists are significant. They can erode the trust that holds your group together, making it difficult to identify genuine allies and safe individuals. This erosion of trust can lead to isolation and paranoia, further complicating survival efforts and making your group an easier target for more malicious threats. Understanding the tactics and motivations of scammers is crucial for maintaining the integrity and security of your group. Recognizing signs of deception and implementing measures to verify the legitimacy of individuals and their offers can help prevent the infiltration and exploitation by these dangerous individuals. Scammers can also contribute to resource depletion indirectly by tricking you into using up supplies on worthless items, leaving you with fewer resources for genuine needs. Their deceptive practices can drain your group's essential supplies, making it harder to sustain long-term survival. The armed gangs represent one of the most severe and organized threats in an SHTF scenario. These groups are typically well-armed, highly motivated, and possess a clear objective to dominate, control, and extract resources from their environment. Unlike opportunistic looters who might act independently or in small groups, armed gangs operate with a higher level of coordination and strategic planning. Armed gangs often form from remnants of existing criminal organizations, former military personnel, or desperate individuals banding together for mutual survival. Their structure allows them to conduct more effective and sustained operations, making them a formidable opponent in any confrontation. The primary danger posed by armed gangs lies in their organization and capability for violence. These groups typically scout neighborhoods in advance, gathering intelligence about potential targets, defenses, and weaknesses. They use this information to plan and execute targeted raids with precision, often overwhelming defenses that might be manageable against solitary or smaller-scale threats. Armed gangs are not just opportunistic. They aim to intimidate and establish power within an area. Their presence can lead to the imposition of rules, extraction of resources through force or extortion, and the creation of a climate of fear and control. They might demand protection fees or outright seize resources from anyone who resists, making their dominance over a region both immediate and sustained. Additionally, armed gangs can have a significant psychological impact on the community. Their display of power and willingness to use violence can deter others from defending themselves or their resources, leading to increased vulnerability and decreased morale among the population. This psychological dominance can make it easier for the gang to maintain control and expand their influence without constant confrontation. Another critical aspect is that armed gangs can attract other malicious groups or individuals seeking to ally with a powerful organization. This can lead to the formation of even larger and more dangerous coalitions, further escalating the level of threat and violence within the community. Understanding the tactics and motivations of armed gangs is essential for preparing defenses and minimizing the risk of becoming a target. Recognizing their patterns of behavior, signs of scouting activity, and the methods they use to establish dominance can help you take proactive measures to protect your resources and maintain your safety. The presence of armed gangs can also disrupt the social fabric of a community, leading to divisions and fear. Their aggressive tactics can undermine any existing social support systems, making collective survival efforts more challenging and isolating individuals who might otherwise have formed supportive alliances. Not everyone you encounter in an SHTF scenario will have malicious intentions. Some neighbors or community leaders may genuinely want to help or organize efforts to improve survival for everyone. These individuals could be a neighbor, a friend, or someone in a leadership role within your area who advocates for resource sharing, community building, or collective security measures. In pre-crisis times, these individuals might have been active in community organizations, volunteered for local causes, or taken on leadership roles in neighborhood watches or other groups. Their inclination to help can become even more pronounced during a crisis, as they seek to bring people together to enhance collective survival. While their intentions might be noble, well-meaning neighbors or community leaders can still pose significant risks. The most common problem is exposure. A friendly neighbor who knows you're prepared may unintentionally reveal this information to others in the community. For example, they might say, "Don't worry about them, they've got plenty." While meant as reassurance, this could turn your home into a target for desperate people seeking to exploit your resources. Community leaders might also pressure you to share resources for the greater good. This could involve pooling supplies, participating in group efforts like distributing food publicly, or volunteering for tasks that could compromise your safety. While collaboration can be beneficial, it can also lead to the exposure of your preparedness and make your group a more prominent target. Moreover, well-meaning individuals might advocate for strategies that are not aligned with your group's needs or safety protocols. For instance, they might push for group patrols that draw attention, or organize communal meals that require you to reveal your food supplies. These actions, though intended to strengthen the community, can inadvertently create vulnerabilities and expose your resources to potential threats. Understanding the motivations behind well-meaning neighbors and community leaders is essential for navigating these interactions. While collaboration and mutual support are important, maintaining your privacy and safeguarding your resources is equally crucial. Recognizing the fine line between helpfulness and exposure can help you engage with these individuals without compromising your group's security. The involvement of well-meaning leaders can also influence group dynamics, sometimes causing friction if their approaches or priorities differ from those of your core group. Their efforts to unify and organize the community can sometimes overshadow individual needs or group protocols, leading to conflicts and inconsistencies in survival strategies. One of the most unpredictable and challenging encounters in an SHTF scenario is with individuals who are mentally unstable or struggling with addiction. The extreme stress, scarcity, and chaos of a societal collapse can push even the most stable individuals to their breaking point. For those already battling mental health issues or addiction, the situation can become unmanageable, leading to erratic and potentially dangerous behavior. People in these states may act unpredictably, lashing out without warning or creating dangerous situations that jeopardize not only themselves, but everyone around them. Addicts experiencing withdrawal can become desperate and violent, willing to harm others to satisfy their cravings. Mentally unstable individuals might exhibit paranoia, delusions, or aggression, making them particularly unpredictable and challenging to handle. The unpredictability of these individuals makes them a significant risk. You can't reason with someone who's mentally unstable or in the throes of addiction. They might refuse to leave, create scenes that draw unwanted attention to your location, or even attack out of fear or desperation. Their actions can lead to a breakdown in group cohesion and create an environment of fear and insecurity. Moreover, their unpredictable behavior can attract other threats, such as looters or opportunists who exploit the chaos and instability created by their actions. This not only endangers the mentally unstable or addicted individual, but also puts your entire group at risk. Understanding the signs of mental instability and addiction is crucial for early identification and prevention of potential threats. Recognizing indicators such as erratic behavior, aggression, or irrational decisions can help you address these situations before they escalate into more serious threats. The presence of mentally unstable or addicted individuals can also strain the emotional and psychological resources of your group. Dealing with unpredictable behavior requires constant vigilance and can lead to increased stress and fatigue, which are detrimental to overall group morale and effectiveness. The quiet observer is one of the most unnerving strangers you might encounter in an SHTF situation. Unlike those who approach directly, the quiet observer watches from a distance, gathering information about your habits, defenses, and resources. They might be a lone opportunist or a scout for a larger, more organized group. Quiet observers can take many forms, from individuals who simply have an interest in your preparedness to members of organized groups scouting for potential targets. Their subtle presence can make it difficult to identify their true intentions until it's too late. The danger of a quiet observer lies in their ambiguity. You don't know their intentions, and they give you no obvious reason to act. They could simply be passing through, but they might also be planning an attack or scouting your defenses for future exploitation. Their presence is a warning sign that your location is being assessed as a potential target, and they could strike without warning based on the information they gather. Quiet observers are particularly dangerous because they can go unnoticed for extended periods, allowing them to gather detailed intelligence about your routines, security measures, and resource levels. This intelligence can be used to plan more effective and targeted attacks, making your defenses seem inadequate when they decide to act. Additionally, their subtle presence can create a constant state of vigilance within your group, leading to increased stress and paranoia. The uncertainty of their intentions can disrupt the cohesion and morale of your group, making it harder to maintain focus on survival tasks and overall security. Understanding the tactics and motivations of quiet observers is essential for maintaining your security and preventing potential threats from materializing. Recognizing the signs of their presence and taking proactive measures to monitor and deter them can help protect your group from future attacks. The presence of a quiet observer can also lead to heightened paranoia and mistrust within your group, as members may start questioning each other's motives and actions. This internal tension can further weaken the group's ability to function effectively and respond cohesively to external threats. Pause. 2S. In an SHTF scenario, strangers represent one of the greatest variables you'll face. From desperate neighbors and opportunistic looters to scammers, armed gangs, well-meaning individuals, and quiet observers, the people you encounter can significantly impact your survival and the security of your group. The key is awareness. Knowing who these strangers are, what motivates them, and why they pose a potential threat is your first line of defense. Understanding the different types of strangers you might encounter allows you to anticipate their behaviors, recognize potential risks, and prepare accordingly. This awareness is crucial for maintaining your safety, protecting your resources, and ensuring the stability of your group in a chaotic and unpredictable environment. Next, we'll dive into strategies for managing these interactions, how to test, vet, and build cautious trust while staying safe. These practical approaches will equip you with the tools needed to handle encounters with strangers effectively, ensuring that your group remains secure and resilient in the face of ongoing challenges. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment on which type of stranger you think is the most dangerous and why. Your input could help others better prepare for these scenarios and enhance their survival strategies. Stay safe, stay prepared, and I'll see you in part 2.